Put it in perspective.
It is recording. Oh, that's the fastest it ever happened.
Hey, man. It's technology. This is the era we in, man.
Technology.
Yo, you know what I'm thinking about too? I was like, do we got to keep saying live and direct? Do I have to say that? I mean, that's our part of our shit.
Yeah.
We ain't live.
Does it fucking? It was hip hop.
It's fucking hip hop. Who gives
it's
a
hip
fuck?
hop. Nigga, we take. What was that? Oh, that's what I think about the classic albums. I was thinking the same thing. I'm just like, yo, they took the word classic. That's the difference. It's always gonna be that's my what's the word? Disconnect. When people use a word, like when people would say, "Oh, that's gangster," when that was that was a thing to say, "Oh, that's gangster," and it was just like, no, it's not. It used to confuse me, but it just became a thing. So I'll be so against it. You know me again. I'm just the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, that's not what it means. That's not gangster at all. It's like shut up, Ray. Like, oh, okay. I'm just outnumbered by the trend.
Against the grain, man, all the time, man. My brother, we back at it, back in perspective, live and direct, on your set, put it in perspective. Got my brother Raymundo Telemundo. Hit your SAP button. Man, it's been a long time coming, bro. I feel like it's been a long hiatus. But we back at it, man. It's your boy Bmad. We recording, we live, and we doing it, man. What's going on, bro? What's new, man? What's the dilly?
Well, first of all, we start this from Santo Domingo, take it to Panama, to Miami, and back to Nueva York. Yes, it's missing a K. That's how Dominicans say Nueva York. They're gonna put an L on there.
Gotta do it right. Gotta do it right. You gotta represent.
I'm feeling good though. Fresh off the surgery. Everything is good. My first real surgery. I had to remove 2 spurs.
Shit.
Off the same joint. I could walk. Still bruised up.
Yo, but you feeling a little better? Like you feel it? You notice the difference? Like, is there any difference of you getting better from how you felt when you got it?
Yeah, I feel better, but on the record, I don't know yet. You know what I'm saying?
On the record.
On the record. That's on the record. But I'm glad I did have the surgery because that's major. Like, I was walking around in pain. Like, I think it's because I wanted to be Wolverine as a kid. So I thought I was just gonna be tough. That shit was dumb to walk around like that. I didn't need to. I mean, people have worse stuff. I'm learning more about like the heel spurs. There's no healing that. There's no surgery. Even though orthotics they help you, and I've heard of people, I guess, removing the pain that way also. I had a pain in my right foot before too, and I had some heel caps. I walked around with that for like 6 months, and I haven't felt it since. And back then I used to wake up and I couldn't even feel my foot. So, we work out here, and that's what comes with when you do physical labor. It's just these injuries that we probably used to tough out back in the day, and we're
real masculinity. Oh, we work through that shit. Yeah, fuck that.
We are, but I do feel the pain that I feel from this. It's the bruise from the surgery and whatever else is left. It does feel whatever else came from it, resulted from it. It feels better than having 2 spurs in there, which is basically it's just like you broke your bone and they kept building up the calcium or whatever it is after the bone. It's the buildup in there. So that's really what it is. And you know how it is. Anyone who's been in physical labor, physical labor, they know they got injuries that they've been ignoring.
Yeah. Man, you got this health insurance. You better take care of it, man. I'm good. I'm fucking great, man.
Wait. Yeah. Happy birthday on the record.
Goddamn right. Happy born day.
37 trips around the sun.
37 trips around the sun, man. A little celebration bottle. Another celebration bottle. Douce, some Ace. I've been doing a lot of drinking these last several weeks. I mean, occasionally, for the occasion. I'm not an alcoholic, everybody. I don't drink every day and shit. I need to, but I don't. But I've been catching up, man. These last 2 weeks, man. It's been back-to-back celebrations, man. You know, family and shit. So I've been feeling good, man. You know what I mean?
Shout out
Trying to
to
get
Zane.
my
Shout out to
huh?
Zane. Shout out to
Oh, shout
Zane.
out to my brother Z, man. My brother Zane, man, just tied the knot. You know,
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. He in there like swimwear, man. We had a great time. His wedding, man. That was very special, man. He put me on to the ace. You know, always wanted to try ace of spades, but after last week, and I was like, yo, I gotta get this shit. Like, it's only right. And I was like, you know what? Is us doing this podcast, it's only fitting that I gotta pop this bottle, man. I gotta pop it, bro. Just on the cast.
You gonna shake the bottle?
Oh, okay. No, I'm not shaking that shit. No. Yeah,
what
man.
I think Jim Jones said that one time. He pisses your rent out or something like that. I piss your rent out. I was like, that's a hard line. That's a hard line.
How many bars about champagne dudes pissing champagne out, and this fucking rap is crazy. It's disgusting, but it's what happens when you got bread, man. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, being in your 20s, I just, there's a lot of judgment. Like when people do, I mean, I don't know if we want to get into that now with the Olympics, Simone Biles first.
I mean, yeah, why? Fuck it. Let's get into it. Mental health.
Yeah, mental health. What did you think about? Because I think, the basketball shit now could take a back seat because Simone Biles, am I spelling her name right? Simone.
Yes.
And
Biles. Yeah, man. Listen, mental health, as we know, Mental Health Awareness Month is May. Like, as us men, families, we've been around. Like, we're known, men especially are known, especially men of color, we're known to internalize a lot of issues. And like you said before, man, when we go to work, you get hurt. We walk that shit off. You be all right. Nah, man. Like, you got to take care of yourself physically, and especially taking care of yourself mentally is very important. And what Simone Biles has done at the Olympic Games, something that people trained for years to do, she had to she put it on the back burner for her mental health, man. It's a lot. She's how old is she? Still 20? She's 24 or 21?
No. I thought that girl was 18, 19.
No, she should be 21, I believe. She's in her 20s, but still, that's still young. And the weight that she's carried these last several years, man, gold medalist, she's the GOAT. It's a lot on an Olympic athlete, man, especially someone her age. And I think with the era of social media and just the day and age we live in, everything is scrutinized, everything's under a microscope. And for her to carry that weight, and for her to just step up to the plate and be like, you know what, I need to step away right now. It's a little too much. And we've seen it with Naomi Osaka in tennis. She did the same thing. And, you see a lot of people gave them a lot of problems and a lot of issues. Oh, why they need to suck it up. And, you're just an athlete. No, they're still human beings, man. It's a lot of weight to carry. And I think it's different now in the era we live in with the social media and just media in general, man, how we just scrutinize everything down to the finest grain. And, it's a lot. It weighs a lot on people. And you got to give LeBron. That's why you got to give LeBron his props in this era. For the last several years, he's been doing it. That's one thing I give him over Mike. I love Mike, but Mike didn't have to deal with what LeBron's doing. A lot of athletes from yesteryear don't have to deal with a lot of what the athletes deal with now. So, yeah, man. But shouts to Simone, man, really big.
My bad, I didn't know I was unmuted. Initially, I first heard it, and the first thing I did think was Naomi Osaka or Osaki. I want to say her name right. I hate saying names wrong. People call me Ramon in front of my mom's is a problem. God bless her, that's my father's name. Be that as it may, that is the first thing I thought of. So I didn't want to do too much judging, but my reaction was, damn, like for real, because I'm thinking similar to what these guys thought about, like toughing it out. Like, where are we? Why can't we tough it out? What is the mental aspect of stuff? Like, I thought mental toughness was a part of this, like being number one and maintaining that position is a part of it. And I mean, LeBron, yes, Jordan didn't have to deal with all of that. And even Jordan said that. He admitted that recently.
Yep.
Yo, if I don't know what I would do if Twitter was around, because I love my privacy. So more so than anything else, even Kobe worked more in the dark. And that's something that nobody talks about either. With all these great, like, genius like players, because I'm gonna do a thing with Randy Moss versus Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice, to me, he was, I think we were talking about that on Twitter when we posted the highlight up.
Yeah.
With Randy Moss. Jerry Rice was just this anomaly. Like, that guy really doesn't seem to be a social person. Like, he's not a socialite. Not like Moss, and not like Terrell Owens, not like Michael Irving, Deion Sanders, right? Deion's the only one that was probably considered the best cornerback, greatest cornerback, and still be a socialite. He didn't have like that problem of being a genius and having to balance all that out. Jerry Rice, I don't know if he had an issue with that, or he's just an introvert, more or less. So Naomi Osaka's the same way. It's like, I don't feel like talking to you guys. And initially I was just like, yo, you get paid a lot of money, and that's kind of part of the reason why you get paid like that. But then again, it's just so much. It's not as easy to think. If you think about it and react to it like that, the way that I did, that's why I didn't want to speak on it. And you do more information, do the knowledge. Yo, Simone Biles, Naomi Osaka, LeBron, these are child stars. Just think about Michael Jackson.
You hit it on the nose.
They're dealing with so much pressure to be already basically anointed. Simone Biles, gymnasts, and tennis stars, especially tennis stars. And well, no, especially gymnasts. These girls are out there at 12 years old and 14 years out there Olympics.
Yes.
Tennis stars are out there from 14, 15. Very predatory. We don't ever talk about that.
Listen, that plays into the Simone Biles situation. The whole U.S. Olympic team, the gymnast team, this guy just got convicted, man. How many girls that he touched over the years and abused? And that's a part of her mental situation, man. Like, yeah, she spoke about it. She was sexually abused by dude. Bro, you hit that on the nose, man. But go ahead.
And then what I do like about Simone Biles, and I'm not gonna say that what I don't like about Naomi Osaka, she's not prepped as a personality. That's just not her. Again, she's an introvert, so she can't do what I'm saying. And maybe that's Kyrie Irving's problem and Kaepernick's problem for me, that they're introverts. So when they're stepping into the limelight with such a major issue, and it's groundbreaking, so all of a sudden it splits the earth, and people got to choose sides. And it's like, all right, I like to listen to all information, bro. I knew Simone Biles, the name. I'm not into Olympics like that, and to be honest, that's why I don't watch college sports like that. I'm not really into watching these college or these high school basketball players. I think that's all nasty to me, and I'm just not super into gymnastics like that. But from what I understand now, she's the GOAT. She is the Michael Jordan of this thing.
Yes, and props to one of my favorite athletes, Dominique Dawes. Dominique Dawes was the first African American gymnast to win a gold medal years ago, and watching her career, she spoke out about Simone Biles, what she's going through right now, and she applauded her. Because this is, like you said, like, these kids are kids, man, and they're doing this at a young age, and to be put in the spotlight like this, it can weigh heavy on a person. At the end of the day, and I don't even think even it has anything to do with being an introvert or extrovert. Like, I just think once you get in that spotlight, period, like, you can be a deer in headlights. Everyone's not built for that. And especially when you're tackling social issues and everyone wants to hear what your opinion is nowadays, it could weigh a lot on anybody, man. So, man, shouts to her.
That's part of the problem too. I forgot the other guy's name. That they take a stance, and a whole bunch of people feel that way. So there's gonna be an afterclap. There's gonna be all these waves of basically echoes of yeah, you're right. It's like, are you right?
The echo chamber.
Like, yeah, even right now with me, I don't know if I'm correct. This part of the reason why I like to talk to people. I like to be wrong. I want to be wrong as soon as possible. I want to know what the hell I'm wrong about. And Simone Biles, you is learning. Not only forget Michael Jordan of the game. It's like Will Chamberlain. It's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the game, where you got to change the rules. Shaq, she was so great they changed the rules for her. So now not only are you number one, you were number one and the greatest based on the old rules. They had to change the rules because you were too good. Now you're there, folk. COVID, all these COVID rules now, the implications that you got to follow. So now what do? We introduced twisties. I never heard of that shit. She explained it. She's on Instagram explaining that she had the twisties, which is when you jump in the air in the middle of one of your stunts or one of your acts during gymnastics, and you can't do the twist that you want. And she showed what happened. And she's just answering people on Instagram. Again, I don't know if she's an introvert, but that's what I mean. That's what I meant by that. Not that it affects you differently, but the way you respond to the public it has to be a lot more. I don't want to say easier. It's definitely easier for someone like me who's willing to listen to whatever information, and especially if she's so willing to come up and not just announce that, but following through and then speaking to the public who's obviously affected by it or somehow has an opinion on it, because nobody gives a fuck about gymnastics until now for some reason, because she's representing the country and she looked like all that kind of talk. She let the country down, this, that, and the third. Shut up.
Listen, I mean, gymnastics has been a big thing, especially women's gymnastics for a long time in the U.S. Olympics, bro, especially for the USA team. Like, I mean, I'm not going to dismiss it and say no one gives a fuck about it, because clearly people have been paying attention to it, especially the last several years, man. I love the Olympics. And I've always, Dominique Dawes, back in the day, I've always watched that portion of the Olympics. I don't watch everything. I watch the gymnastics. I watch the swimming. I watched the swimming today. What's the girl name? She holds the records, like 23 records in a row, man. She did the 800 meter today. Oh man, she's great.
American?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she killed it, man. But
nobody's talking about swimming outside of the Olympics.
Well, of course not. That's what this is when it's featured,
right? So we're not gonna remember Simone. This thing about Simone Biles became bigger than all that because she was so great. That I know. Okay. That I know. That's because I've been hearing her name so much. I didn't realize she was that dominant. But because her name surfaced that high out of the winning the Olympics and dominating her sport, that you were forced to know the name. That's an incredible feat. What I mean is for people to all of a sudden care this much when you didn't care this much 2 months ago without the Olympics, knock it off. That means 2 months from now, you're not going to care. You're going to go back to work wherever you go.
But you know what? That's fucking almost everything nowadays. With this news cycle, social media, and me and you spoke about this before. You've definitely been big on this. It's the shock of right now. We're living in the moment, and we reacting to it in the moment, and people they get all out of character and they react to it a certain way, and they act like they really care. But then, like a week later, on to the next one.
Right. But I think it's always been like that. We never had podcasts at the tip of a button for us to speak in long form and try to attract a public and try to make monetize our opinions. And because we know that can happen. Like, I like, what's his name from, shout out to Queen's Flip. I like him, but he got big off doing ridiculous stuff, and he still kind of does it. So I'm not into that. Like, don't do that around me, because for me, things like that, if you're willing to do stuff like that around me, that means anything goes, and anything doesn't go around me. I'm not with everything. I'm just not. I'm not saying I'm tough, none of that. We need boundaries. Maybe the older you get, the more conservative you get.
Standards. I have standards. It's certain things I don't like it. Like, I just stand like, no. Like, is a level of certain things I can tolerate, And I think we get caught up in what everyone was popular, was trending, and I feel like a lot of people try to just put their input on things they really don't have too much knowledge on, and they just want to have their voice heard, or they want to go viral, and they just want to be out there. They want to get attention. It's bullshit. Me, you gotta have standards, man. I can't comment on every single thing that's going on, and I mean that's the era and the culture that we in right now. It's stupid, man.
Yeah, it goes back to the what we're working on with is the Hollywood effect. Is Hollywood is our religion. The same thing, the same way the Greeks had all these gods and the Egyptians had all these gods. Well, that was the north to their compass. Our north to our compass is Hollywood, and unfortunately it's what we do. That's why we're doing this podcast. It's like it is what it is. That's how capitalism, American capitalism, is merged with Hollywood, and the Simone Biles story is the new TV is a new episode in this TV show of Hollywood or whatever it is. And it's not unfortunate. We just got to figure out a way. Like, these guys shouldn't talk no more. And I don't care how intelligent you come off. It's at a certain point we got to decide, what don't we want? Is freedom of speech real? Like, do we really need that much? Do we need to, all right, I don't believe in Hitler. I don't believe in socialism like that, but some of you guys might need a muzzle, might need to be might need a vasectomy.
Shut the fuck up.
They might get their tubes tied. You don't need any children. That's what happens. Your lineage should just die with you.
Stop.
It's true. Because you're breeding more. It's not even stupid. It's like you have the capability of thinking, and that's what you came up with. Okay, get away from me. Don't just hand me the tool, please. I don't want to talk to you no more. Like, that's how it is.
Yeah, man. Oh, before we go to the next segment, I want to give a credit. The Olympic star from the swimming is Katie Ledecky. She closed out. She's been swimming since she was 15. She's 24. Like, I think this year was her last year competing. And man, she's the record holder, man. She won the gold today. So shouts to her, man. But anyway, yeah.
That's something else, and that's because Michael Phelps dominated the same way, right?
Yeah, she dominated. I mean, because we don't hear her name, and I guess the men's swimming is much bigger. And Michael Phelps was such a major character, major name, like Simone Biles. Katie Ledecky, I didn't know her name until today. She's been dominating for a long time, the last several Olympics, man. And she holds all 23 of the records for the 800 meter. She holds all 23 spots. I'm like, what? Katie Ledecky, no. Katie Ledecky down the line. Incredible. I watched the whole 800 meter. I was like, wow. You got to see if you can get a look. Katie Ledecky, if you can watch her swim. Yeah, she's the Michael Phelps of the women's swimming for the Olympics, man.
Michael Phelps might be the Katie Ledecky of swimming. Like, that sounds insane.
Yo, it's ill, bro. And when NBC showed it, I was like, wow. I never heard of her till today.
And that's something else we don't talk about. All right, how could we have possibly gotten that much faster at swimming? Yes, we can concentrate on things a lot more nowadays, but they don't talk about the PEDs, bro.
Yeah, because Katie Ledecky's diesel. Yo, bro, I'm sorry. Yo, you see her, you like, shit. Like, I gotta get in shape, man. She's tip top. Like, yeah. I was like, oh shit. She got out the pool. I was like, damn, man.
Okay, but so if 10 years from now they got another Katie Ledecky who breaks all the records and does the same thing, it's like, I remember the guy from Balco, I think Victor Conti, was on Joe Rogan like 8 years ago. He was like, yo, the Jamaicans, they on another, they can't trace it. Imagine if you couldn't trace, what was Balco's thing?
It was something that you couldn't trace in the DNA. I forgot what it was, but
damn, what was it? Why are we forgetting about this? Is how can we forget that it wasn't all that stuff? The clear, like the way Gary Sheffield used to talk about it, they used to put it under their tongue, put it on their knee, just rub it on their knees. I'm like, I will take that today. What do you give me? All of that.
I think they were using the level the level they were using was against regulation. Because I mean, no.
It was illegal. There is no. There was no level. The doctor would have to prescribe it to you to rehab.
All right, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They weren't using it the proper way. They weren't getting prescribed by their doctor. These dudes are just like, yo, I need that under the table, and
that's there was no. There was
no.
No,
bro. They need to cut that shit out. I was just talking about this. Me and you spoke about this before. The fucking steroids era was the best era in baseball.
Easily.
Cut the shit out. Cut it out. Let my man Bonds in. Let Roger Clemens in. Let Manny in. Let that whole era in. Cut it. I hate these baseball riders, and we got to do a show on that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Because
they banned. I didn't realize greenies are amphetamines.
Greenies, yes, that was the thing they used in the 70s. They were using greenies like it was nothing.
But they banned it.
But come on, man.
But that's like Adderall. So Adderall for a pitcher like keeps you super focused and stuff like that. And to me, it's like, okay, so at what point? Because steroids are legal. You needed to rehabilitate also. So at what point do we just say that this is not just illegal? This is like you turn into Captain America or whatever it is. Like there's just a fine line that they really don't know how to play with yet. Because Bonds could just be ahead of his time. There's gonna be a point where they look back 50 years from now and go, oh yeah, he was the greatest player because everybody's back on it now. He was just what he was supposed to do.
Before the roids, Bonds was the man. Like he was a Hall of Famer without the roids. In Pittsburgh, when the Pirates, Bonds was that guy.
He was, but he was not.
I mean, come on. All right, big head Bonds. We know he wasn't big headed the steroids, but man, come on, bro. He was celebrated. He was a perennial all-star before the roids, before he went to San Fran, man. Like
he was a man.
Yeah,
he was a man. We're not going into baseball. Oh, we could if you want. Go into baseball.
Talk a little bit about the Yankees and Mets. Why not?
The fuck is going on?
Crown, man. What the fuck is going on in the Bronx? Listen, give me my moment. Hey, the trade deadline, and you know, you're a Mets fan. I'm a Yankees fan. I love what they did at the trade deadline. They had to make some moves even before the trade deadline. I think the COVID situation with Aaron Judge, All-Star break with Aaron Judge. Who else went out? Gio Urshela. There's a few players that went out. That was a blessing in disguise because they called up a few players from the minors. This kid Chris Allen, who has speed and can hit for average. He's been phenomenal. He's hitting in the ninth spot. Like it's a little situation like that, and they did something they were lacking. The Yankees for the last several years, they're built for power. They're built to hit home runs. I get it, but if you look at the history of even the Yankees' past World Series, even the last World Series, the last few teams that won, they play small ball. They hit for average. They know how to run the bases. The Yankees didn't have that. The Yankees were lacking that, and it was terrible. And this year, for some odd reason, they weren't hitting at all either, on top of everything they were lacking. And then on top of that, your bullpen wasn't great, and your starting rotations in shambles. Severino comes back, I think, in the middle of August. They're preparing for him. He's been out for over a year and a half because he had Tommy John surgery. Garrett Cole, ever since the stick, they've been the pine tar and the stick, taking the sticky away from the pitches. He has not pitched the same. And he's your ace. He's been getting tagged. He got tagged. Was it last night or the night before? He got beat the fuck up. So the Yankees have a lot of problems, man. But I mean, the players they pulled at the trade deadline, you got Anthony Rizzo and you got Joey Gallo from the Rangers. You got Anthony Rizzo from the Cubs. They're both great hitters, good fielders, great gloves, but they also strike out a lot. And I mean, but so far, Anthony Rizzo, he just hit a home run tonight. So, I mean, they're playing the Marlins, though, tagging up on Jeter's team and Don Mattingly's team. But we'll see, man. But they got a lot of fucking issues to iron out. The only thing that's going to save their season, and MLB is smart, they added the second wild card. If there's no second wild card, I don't see the Yankees making the playoffs. that might be their saving grace. If they can get that second wild card, which they're not far off, I think they're like a game and a half back. I think is it Seattle? Somebody in front of them, but they have the potential with this team. If they turn it around, they can get that spot. But there's no way they get in the AL East. They're not taking it from Tampa or the Red Sox. So, but there's a lot of issues in the Bronx going on. They need to iron that shit the fuck out. But yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt that. You came in blazing. I'm surprised because they made the playoffs last year.
Yes.
And they were like
only 60 games last year. That wasn't. Come on, it's cold. It was shortened season.
But what's the biggest difference? Because 2 years ago they played Houston. That was with a beef starter, right? With Houston.
Nah, a few years ago. It started 2017. Really. It actually like the hate for the Astros brewed when A-Rod was still there. When the Yankees made the wild card game that year, and the Astros still had Dallas Keuchel as their starting pitcher. He started that game. The Yankees lost. I think it was like 3-0 or something like that. The hate for the Astros started then. And then A-Rod retires midseason. They get rid of A-Rod. They forced him out. They bring up an all-star, a future all-star. We didn't know at the time, Aaron Judge. Gary Sanchez gets up. These dudes come up and they change the team. They are the baby Yankees. So, you know, that's what it is. In 2017, finally get back to the playoffs, start making a run. We run into the Astros in the ALCS. We knock out the Cleveland Indians, and you know that was a great series. Great series. Yes. That season, my man from the Mets fan put the thumbs down, and the Yankees ran with that. That was like their thing to hang on, like to run for that season. But yeah, that's what started, man. And we lost to Houston, and then I think 2018 was it 2018 they played again? Or was it 2019? 2019 they played the Astros again, and then of course that short motherfucker, man. What's my man name from the Astros?
Not Altuve. Altuve's he got hurt off the break.
Altuve hits the walk-off against Aroldis Chapman. And that's the season where they claimed they were cheating. And he didn't want to rip off his jersey because he had the clicker on his chest. So that right there, that's where the vitriol like stemmed from. And the Astros are hated just as much as the Red Sox right now. So
in New York.
In New York, yes.
Okay,
oh no,
so
all over the MLB. So many teams hate the Astros for doing that change.
So Altuve had a bad year last year. He's at 280 this year, so that's not bad.
No, he's doing good this
year. Yeah, but he's a career 309 batting average. RBIs, walks, 47 walks. That's pretty good, actually. Midway, that's really good because he had his career before that.
Ain't no garbage cans.
But you know what I say? I think all that is good to me. To me, all them garbage can stuff, it's like I still think you got to bring. I just seen a clip with Barry Bonds and Eric Gagne where Eric Gagne said, "Yo, if we up 3-0, Eric Gagne was one of the best relief pitchers, if not the best at that time. Roided up. He ain't lying to me, Eric Gagne. I see you. I think he was either Colombian or whatever he was. He was ill though with the glasses, and he told Barry Bonds they were cool. They were like on some worldwide tour or whatever it was. If we up 3-0 in the ninth, I'm coming for you. And Barry Bonds like, yeah, and you see the whole sequence take place, and Barry Bonds is talking about it. And I'm like, wait, this game counted? It's not a preseason game? And he pitched to him, and he's telling him, I'm gonna pitch to you. And Barry Bonds, he's commentating, challenging him, but no, Barry Bonds is commenting on it in like afterwards, and they're telling him about the at bat, and he's like, yeah, the first time he kind of nodded, you see him, then you see my face, then you see, look at his face, what he does. He's supposed to challenge me, so he can't get away from me. He pitches to him, Barry Bonds ends up smacking it, makes the game 3-2. So these supposed unspoken rules. To me, I would have never pitched to him whatever he wanted. No, I'm trying to win the game. But but my point is that you have all these unspoken rules that don't make baseball fun. They tried it before, you know, like TO and them with the celebrations in football, and in baseball, you cannot not have celebrations and have Dominicans involved. Not
Oh.
happening. That is not going to be a baseball game. That is the entire game.
My man, Fernando Tatis Jr.
Nice.
That is my boy, bro. He's carrying a flag for this whole new era of fuck your old rules. We celebrating. Black, Latino, we celebrating. That white way, that old way, the American way, the old pastime, that shit is dead, man. And it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap, bro. You can't, bro, listen. Oh, man, I love baseball. It's probably, and I love basketball and the NBA, but baseball is probably my favorite sport because I have a diehard allegiance to the Yankees. And just growing up, cousins Rod Carew, my whole family, we love baseball. My great-grandfather, diehard Yankees fan. So that baseball, I love it. And to see the game, the way it's being played now, the celebrations and everything, you have to change it up. That's what brings eyeballs to the game, especially young kids to the game. My son loves playing baseball. He watches it with me. You know, it's one of the most boringest things to watch. I get it. But he'll sit down and watch. He goes outside. He has a pitching machine. He hits in the backyard. Like, he has his glove. I play. Yeah, listen. But he sees the players like Tatis and all these players that, you know, do the bat flips. Come on, man. You need that in the game. You need that to grow the game. This is business. We in the business of making money, no? That is what?
It's whatever works to me. I don't. That's the part that I don't understand anybody being against it. If the players, that's part of Latin culture, and especially Dominican culture. And if you go to DR, that Dominican league is even crazier.
Crazy.
So
they live and breathe baseball, bro.
Yeah, and they have, and the league is the same way. I forgot that he started off on the Mets, but he ended up being on the Padres, and something happened with him when he was celebrating. He got hit by a pitch afterwards, and he went crazy.
Yeah, they drill you.
It was an ill video because he was talking about like, yo, you know, all I was fighting for was to be able to do that. It was a speed. I forgot his name. But he, you know, yeah, this era is different and it's good. It's just part of the now. You got to expect the new era to be different than the old era. They're not going to want to be a part of all this. Manny Ramirez changed. You can see a difference between Manny Ramirez on Cleveland and on Boston. Early on Boston, he wasn't really celebrating like that. That last one, where he put it, Manny Ramirez.
Oh yeah, in Cleveland, and then he went to Boston. Yeah,
right. But even early on Boston, he wasn't showing off like that. He wasn't really doing the bat flips like that. Then all of a sudden, he started, like, you know what they called them, the bad guys, the idiots.
The idiots. Kevin Millar tagged them that. Yeah.
So, you know,
Mueller.
It's fun. Like, who's gonna want to sit there and not celebrate? Like, how you gonna just hit the ball and trot around the bases? That sounds corny. It's baseball.
Listen, it's baseball. And listen, my team, the Yankees, are like the anti, you know, you got a clean shave face. You know, Yankees represent the old pastime. It's just the whole organization, the way they do things. Shave face, no names on the back of the jerseys, no players above the team. You know, they celebrate a lot of those they're traditionalists, and a lot of baseball fans are that. And there's a tie-in with racism and race in this country. Baseball is looked at as a white sport. It's not played a lot predominantly in the city. You know, a lot of Latino and Black kids in the U.S. don't play it unless you outside of the U.S. In the islands, in the Latin islands, like baseball is baseball. You know what I'm saying? Like that's in DR. That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? But here in the U.S., you know, in the predominantly white America, it's frowned upon. But now you have a league is dominated by Latino players. There's no way you can tell them, no, you can't celebrate. What? No.
But I think that's over is new too. And then again, we go back to the echo chamber. I think a lot of guys really won't care, but there's some people who are just, because I don't like a lot in football. I used to hate Jeremy Shockey celebrating the first down, and you had three drop passes in the game. I hate the celebration of the first down like that, and we're down by 3 touchdowns. You know, in baseball, even in baseball, you up by 8 runs, and if you're smacking a home run and bat flipping like that, you need to be beaned. Actually, somebody should bean you on the bench.
Why?
because that's dumb.
Showing them up. What? Why? What? Showing them up?
Forget showing them up. The pitcher should just laugh. I mean, it's at that point, it's like someone got to teach you. There's no way you think that's cool being down 8-0 right now.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying is, there's a limit to the celebration. Like, you cannot be celebrating while losing. I could see if it was.
All right. Yes. Listen. Yeah, you down. Like, dog. You looking at the score? You down 10 runs still. You bat flipping 4. I get it. But if I'm winning and you challenge me and it's a 3-2 pitch and I get off on you, I'm celebrating and I'm bat flipping all day.
You got
cats are mad about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta drill you. The pitcher, I gotta drill you now. I bring it. I'm charging that mound.
Hold on. I didn't know Tony La Russa was coaching still.
Oh, yes.
Let alone
White Sox. Who are in
I didn't even think he was still alive.
Bro, like, there was a big thing that happened a few weeks ago. Was it 2 months ago, a month ago, where the White Sox were winning. They were crushing whoever they were playing. And one of their players hit a 2-run shot. And he celebrated, and he was mad about it. He was really mad about it, and it was a whole big thing. But I was like, man, get the fuck out of here. Come on, man. We busting your ass. I should be able to celebrate, man. No. Come on.
I still do like having a difference, though. I don't want it to be like a free for all either. Like, I do like the fact that somebody just has a different opinion. If that's their opinion, I don't like that. I just don't like it. I'm Barry Sanders. I hand the ball back to the referee, whatever it is. That's your preference. Because we should encourage people to be themselves also. If that's not you, we could tell when you're not authentic. I don't want to see that. When it comes off like now you're doing too much for attention. That's really the problem too.
Let me tell you this. You know how hard it is to fucking hit a home run. Period. I don't care if you're in Major League. Just like, all right, what if I'm making examples and shit. What if this player, he was a rookie, he just came up from the minors. They just, he was a minor, he was in the minor leagues for like 8 years. He finally gets called up. 8th inning, they're up by a few runs. He hits a 2-run shot. He's not supposed to celebrate that? Like, I worked my whole career to get to this point. I'm not supposed to celebrate that, Tony La Russa? Fuck you, Tony La Russa. I can't stand Tony La Russa, bro. I ain't like him as a Cardinals coach. For fuck God.
He started off with the A's.
Yep, Oakland. Yep.
Speaking of steroids.
Yeah. Oh, the Baez brothers. Come on, man.
But that's one of my favorite players all time is Ricky Henderson.
Hold that thought. You're trying to tell me Tony La Russa didn't know fucking Canseco and Maguire was shooting up? Come on, man.
And how?
Come on,
and
man.
how
He's all old rules. Don't do this. Don't show up. Fuck you, Tony La Russa.
No. Part of me still feels like somebody got to be the dad around here. I do respect that, bro. I do. Bro. Somebody got to be the adult in the room too. Everybody can't just be silly jumping around.
Nah, it's not even about. But you're contradicting your whole stance. Well, my players, they shooting up, but we hitting home runs and we're winning fucking games. But I'm saying, come on, man, cut that shit the fuck out, man. All of a sudden, you want to be, come on, this pro for the game, like, I like the old way and no show. Come on, bro, your whole fucking squad was shooting up, man. The Bash brothers, you know what the fuck they were doing in that locker room, bro. No way you couldn't tell me he didn't know.
Not the whole team.
But Selig no. Come on, son.
That's a different story. Not the whole team. My man Ricky, who spoke in third person all the time.
Henderson? Yes. My man.
He had the most leadoff home runs before. Did somebody break that record?
He might still hold out. Well, I know he has the steals record. We know that.
That's Ricky Henderson was my dude. My mom used to hate him for some reason because he spoke in third. My mother's very conservative like that.
He was a Yankee.
Ricky was early.
A Yankee. Yes. He was drafted by the Yankees. George Steinbrenner.
Wasn't Deion Sanders drafted by the Yankees too? Or?
Yes, he was. Yes, Deion was a Yankee. He was drafted, yeah. Yep.
Damn. So that would have been too.
Always a Yankee, always a Yankee.
Deion does not think so.
Yeah, he does. Trust me.
So I don't have.
you can play in the the old timers game. Once you're a Yankee, that's it. That's the rule.
The only thing with the Mets really for me is their hitting isn't as bad, and I think Baez, he's a power hitter, so it's always weird to mix two power hitters in a lineup like that, and they put Alonso at in second in the lineup today, and Lindor is hurt, so it's gonna be tough. That's when you see the coaching and everything.
Right.
They gotta show improve, but I gotta see that. When did the trade deadline end?
It ended. It ended yesterday. It ended at 4 p.m. yesterday. Yeah, 4 p.m.
So they got a bat. There is magic to the Mets. Like when I see them play, I don't know how to really explain it, and I think that's the eye test that people talk about. And if you watch Moneyball or read the book is everybody should read that. And I didn't. My story with the Mets was when Carlos Beltran left the bat on his shoulder in 2007.
Oh, listen,
it damn near ended my Mets
Mets
fandom.
fans still talk about it. My uncle brings it up every time we talk about the Mets. Every time. Like, I remember watching that game, and I was like, yo, as a Yankee fan, I'm like, yo, he didn't move, bro.
That much money. You made that much noise in the beginning of the year because we booed you. Way too sensitive. And then you 3-2, bottom of the ninth. You talk about a time to celebrate. Anyway. I was off and on with the Mets, and I stopped watching baseball. And then when they made it to the championship a couple years ago, I felt kind of phony because I really didn't know. I know the Dark Knight was good, and he's supposed to be having a resurgence with either St. Louis or Kansas City.
He was in Baltimore for a little bit. Yeah, he was in Baltimore. Yeah, he pitched good against the Yankees this year. I know that. I remember that game.
Yeah. But but I see a lot of the relief pitchers. They're taking the cue from that's something else that's new. They're not letting everybody just be a starter. They're starting to put a lot of the guys who are good into the bullpen. That makes the most sense.
It does. And it's smart. You're shortening the game because now you have specialists. I mean, that started in the 90s, but now it's just like, yo,
put it in perspective.
You got relief pitchers throwing 90, 100 miles per hour. Like, that was unheard of back in the day. You got specialists that can just deliver 7th, 8th, 9th, sometimes 6th. You got a long relief. The game changed. I mean, you shorten the game. It's smart. That's why the Yankees were so successful the last several years, like the last 15 years. Like, even when they weren't winning World Series, they always had a great bullpen. Even up until, I ain't gonna say this year, but even up until last year, they always had a great bullpen. Any team that has a great bullpen, the Dodgers, teams like that, you're shortening the game. Your level of success is higher. So only right.
I equate it to the bullpen might be like the offensive line or the line of scrimmage in football. If you don't have there's no way you could. I gotta look that up. Who had a weak bullpen or like a bottom 20 bullpen, bottom 10 bullpen and won? I can't imagine them winning. That was my beef with Armando Benitez when he was on the
bottom 20. Yeah, I gotta definitely look that up.
Like a bottom, not a top 10 bullpen, but a bottom 10 bullpen. Like who won? I just can't see that happening. Right. You know, like that's why Mariano's so great because he's pitching 3 or 4 innings. He's like a starting pitcher, but he's playing every game. That is way more valuable than any of the starting pitchers.
And I said that, I think me and you had this conversation like maybe a year ago, maybe a little further. We were talking about who was the most valuable player on the Yankees during their World Series runs in the 90s and early 2000s. It's Mariano. Everybody would say Jeter. Nah. You're not winning without a Mariano. He's your MVP. He's your most valuable player. Mariano was lights out. Lights out. His ERA is still insane. It's still a record for a pitcher, period. Like, just
I grew up disliking the Yankees, and I found myself being such a hypocrite because I disliked the Yankees because of how boring they were in the 80s. I didn't care for Phil Rizzuto. I thought the Mets broadcasting was better, but they were winning when I was a kid, and I didn't realize that. I thought all the Yankee fans that came out of nowhere in the late 90s pissed me off so bad that I'm like, I cannot like you because where did you guys come from? But that's the infectiousness of winning. people are going to be
Right.
fans. And this can be a Mets town easily because of the Long Island.
Slow your roll.
No. This is the
You can talk
80s
about
was the 80s was a major Mets town. It's because
Oh,
they were so
it
bad.
was. It was, bro. The Yankees were bad in the 80s. They weren't great. Like, of course we had Don Mattingly. You had Donnie Baseball, but the Mets were the Mets. My first baseball games were Mets games at Shea Stadium in the late 80s. My father, who's like he's like the in-between fan. He loved the Yankees and the Mets. I mean, but my family, they always, was partial to the Yankees, but he loved the Mets. How could you not love the Mets in the 80s, man? Strawberry Doc, like just that whole team, like come on, Keith Hernandez, all those guys, man. They had a great team. 86 was special.
Keep it real. Who got the better pinstripe jersey?
Come on, son. Why? That's not even a question. Cut the bullshit. It ain't the Mets. You need to stop the bullshit. You can breathe through that motherfucking robot, Nick. It ain't the Mets.
It might be. But so the Yankees are not making the playoffs.
They still have a shot. They're, like I said, they're only a game and a half back of the second wild card. That's their saving grace. If the major, and they just implemented the second wild card 2 seasons ago before COVID. If is no second wild card, their chances are very slim. But since it's there, and then they do play the Red Sox in the Rays a few more times. So I mean, if which I don't see them, they don't have a better team than the Red Sox or Tampa Bay right now as is. But if they just go on some miraculous run, which is possible, it's up in the air. You know what I'm saying? I can still see them getting a wild card spot and trying to make a run. They still have a decent team. They get hit, but they need to hit. They don't hit with runners in scoring position. They're one of the worst in the league. They're in like the bottom 25. Like they're at the bottom of hitting right now, especially with runners in scoring position. That's been a problem all season. They don't hit with runners on. They've left so many people on base. It's ridiculous, man. You got all these hitters on this team. Your best hitter, who's DJ LeMahieu, he's only hitting like 268 this year. He's usually like 330. He's in the upper three. He's always in the top 5 in hitting for average in the last several years, even when he was with the Rockies. So he's not doing that this year. It's been the Yankees ain't hitting, man. The Yankees ain't hitting and they ain't pitching. So that's the recipe.
Just to leave with the Mets thing, DeGrom ain't coming back until
September.
He got a setback. That's another thing about starting pitching. Someone like DeGrom, to me, what I always thought was when you have an ace like that, maybe with the mechanics, listening to Pedro Martinez a lot about pitching is amazing. Yes. And I love A-Rod, David Ortiz, and Pedro Martinez talking baseball. It's great. Yes. Yep. And he breaks down like why you can't just come in the league pitching a splitter. Your shoulder has to build to that, especially if you're 18, 19, 20 years old. Your body's not, built for that. So I'd imagine, me just saying, hey, DeGrom could just come off the bench in the playoffs. For me, I always thought that because Mariano was always the example. He was a starting pitcher and he moved to the bullpen. If you have an ace, he's still considered the best in the league, DeGrom, right?
Yeah. 1.08 ERA, man. Even this season, like the injuries messed him up this year.
I don't know what his whip is, but he's also going to get out of his prime soon. But you want to take advantage of something like that because that is the stopper. Again, going back to the offensive line, you put him in the bullpen, forget about it. So, for me, when you have a starting pitcher like that, best in the league, to lose out on any piece of that peak, any piece of that dominance for their career, I'm glad they turned it around. I know the owner is known to be a Wall Street scumbag, Steve Cohen, and Dave Portnoy hates his guts. But I want a savage like that as an owner, and he's smart and he's willing to implement these strategies from Wall Street that got him there. He's going to do it with baseball. Maybe he'll do it with DeGrom. You want to take advantage of that. You really do.
My thing with that, before we go, is with DeGrom, and I love him. Man. He's a great pitcher, man. They don't hit. The Mets don't hit when he pitches. He doesn't have the run support. That's been his problem. Well, not his problem, the Mets' problem the last several seasons in his dominance. And he's won Cy Youngs, the last several years. He's been the best pitcher in baseball, both leagues, AL, NL, whoever. They don't give him the run support. How many games he could have won? You put DeGrom on, say, the Yankees or some sort of Astros or Red Sox. What?
The Yankees.
Yeah, I said the Yankees. That was a talk, though. That was a talk. That almost happened. It didn't piss y'all off.
The talk has ceased.
That almost happened. Yeah, it ain't gonna happen now, but shit. His record would be impeccable, man. But he's still great.
But speaking of winning championships, the Bugs.
Oh boy. Yeah. They won.
You're upset about this? Like that upset about it?
Because I'm like, listen, if the playoffs go the proper way and no one gets hurt, they're not winning the championship. They're not beating. They were struggling. They went to 7 games with Durant and a hobbled James Harden. No Kyrie after game 2. Bro, they're not winning that. That chip was up in the air. So, I mean, no, shouts to them. It's still hard to win an NBA championship, period. I'm not taking that one, but come on, man. Come on. If the Lakers get there, Giannis is not being LeBron. No way. I didn't see them beating the Lakers. No.
I didn't see anybody. Right. It's easy to say that. It's easy to say that because when we talk about strategy, it's easy to talk about any kind of strategy in game. That happens if Durant, Harden, and Kyrie were healthy. It's a different. The first 2 games were different before Kyrie got hurt. And I don't even think the Kyrie injury is the worst part. It's Harden's injury. He was making that. He was the heartbeat to that team. Yes, Durant can score from anywhere. He damn near carried them that game. I thought it was a bad strategy by Budenholzer. I don't know how it bought him some more time as a coach. I still think they did make adjustments especially against the Suns. They got Chris Paul out of there. I don't know why Chris Paul was handling the ball as much. But Drew Holiday, damn.
No.
He's up there with these other guys, man. He plays amazing defense. This is like you disagree. I'm
shaking my head because he helped, but they're not winning anything if Chris Middleton doesn't have the performance he had after game 3 against Brooklyn. He became a different player, bro. If he's not playing with the way he played, Chris Middleton,
he's been that way the whole season.
Oh, but no, the first 2 games against Brooklyn, he was a no-show.
Okay.
Once he started playing against Atlanta, against Phoenix, a lot of those games in the fourth quarter, him making those big shots, bro, they're not winning a few of those games without Chris Middleton, bro. A few of those games.
They're not winning. They're not going to the championship without him. Like he's part of the nucleus. We can't. Again, I'm not with the hero ball and Giannis did it all. What Giannis did that has to be talked about is he took it to when you see the focus is on him. That game 6 that he had is legendary. 50 points.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but yeah. Spotlights on him. He took it to the next level where we're going, oh, okay, yeah. He's not scared of the moment. 14 to 16 free throws, terrible free throw shooter. Nah, he was locked in, and for him and just his personality, everything is easy to root for a guy like that. He's genuine. It'll lead me to my Russell Westbrook point later. He's genuinely passionate, unlike like the KGs of the world who are like this fake passionate, fake tough dude. Giannis is not fake at all. He's happy. He's really happy. He's intense. He's really intense.
That I love.
Yeah, and when the moment came through, he stuck to his guns.
Yeah.
And the thing going back to the strategy thing, all right, in-game strategy is one thing. How about before the season starts? The whole strategy with supposed super teams, all the weight is on those superstars. So guess what? When one of them or two, and one of them goes down, something might happen. It happened with the Lakers and it happened with the Nets. This is what happens throughout NBA history, throughout sports history. So when you weigh that much, put that much pressure or just the weight on the superstars, the focal point is just them, and they have that much. That's what happens. You don't have the role players behind you to fill in for them. Where was Joe Harris?
Oh, bro,
Wide open shot.
I can do a deep dive on the Nets. Oh, don't get me started with Joe Harris, bro. Oh.
Not yet. That's a little bit later. So I think I heard like what Barkley was saying. He thinks the Bucks. Yes, I think the Nets beat them 2-1 during the season, maybe even 3-0. But the Bucks played really good defense and they scored a lot of points. I like them versus the Nets in the conference championship versus Philly. I did not believe in Philly from the season. I said
we said that, yeah.
When it comes to playoff time, they didn't get PJ Tucker. They didn't get anybody to bother the other superstars. For me, too much weight is on Embiid on offense, and they don't have someone at the point to spell this. So Ben Simmons is not, it's not, to me, the coach has to realize that. That's the in-game strategy. And the out-game strategy just crashing and showing improvement. It is what it is. They were supposed to lose. There's no way that Embiid, who's not this great passer out of the double team like that, he's gonna score for you. But my strategy was, shoot 100 times. I dare Embiid to shoot 100 times. You're not winning. You're not. No. So going back to the Bucks, they're a balanced team. So them winning, were they the most talented? Obviously not. The Lakers and the Nets, full strength, I can see either one of them winning. Either one of those teams, yes, at full strength. Okay, cool. But these are the breaks. And it's not the first time throughout NBA history. We can go throughout every season and see we did the Moses Malone highlight also, for putting in perspective. The Philly beat the Lakers and James Worthy did not play in the finals for the Lakers. They got beat 4-0 or whatever it was. 4-4-4. They were missing James Worthy. That's nothing small. You understand what I'm saying? So throughout, Isaiah Thomas got injured. They could have three-peated against the Lakers and the Portland Trailblazers. Isaiah Thomas got hurt. So that's what happens. You know what I mean? And the Pistons were a balanced team. It wasn't like they weren't balanced, but the Lakers one of the best teams in the league as well. So I understand that. I understand your Nets fandom, but we gotta give the Bucks 100 props.
Yeah, give their props. Hold that thought. The Lakers, LeBron is great because he's done it in Cleveland. He makes these other players around him better. Unfortunately, I don't think they had the right pieces. Usually LeBron is successful even with a team that lacks another number two with him when he has good shooters around him. The Lakers didn't have good shooters at all. And they talked about that before the playoffs, before AD was really like what we knew he was going to be, healthy or not. The Lakers lacked that, and I think last year, the bubble, it might have been, I don't know, an anomaly a little bit for them to win. I mean, it was a shortened season. It's just a different feel. Like that championship to me, I don't know. But
see, I don't like doing that. Whatever came,
you got to, bro. I'm sorry. This is what it is.
Right, but whatever was on the plate, they ate it. They ate it. They did their thing. LeBron, the major thing about that you're not mentioning is that AD was healthy. When AD is healthy, yes. When AD is healthy, they're just whatever team he's on is going to be different, and he's always going to need. He's not a number one to me. He's not Giannis. So that my man Ryan, shout out to Ryan. He always said AD was better than Giannis, and I'm like, skill wise, he's superior to Giannis. He can do way more things than Giannis. He can shoot, can dribble probably better, get to his spots better, but he doesn't have the motor Giannis has. Again, it's the intangibles that people who played ball don't want to hear about. But the truth of the matter is, Giannis, I've never seen him scared. I've never seen him lackadaisical. None of that. I always was frustrated when he shot too much. It was when you're giving the defense when you give the defense a break, you're 7 feet tall shooting threes. You're not even there for an offensive rebound. Let Middleton shoot so you're there in place to give yourself a better chance for a second possession, right? So with the Lakers, if you're missing Anthony Davis, that ruins all of that. And now Anthony Davis, mentally, he's not a number one. He's not the alpha.
LeBron is.
Right. So, and that's what I like about, with Westbrook going there. I don't even want to skip there real quick.
Nah, go to it. Go to it.
So that's what I like about Westbrook, because he's not a number one mentally. He's just, his edge is what is his gift and his curse.
I mean, he's not number one now, but I mean, he was in that position. He was in that driver's seat with OKC when KD left. I mean, he tried, but it ain't for everybody, bro.
When the Derrick Rose, it was Derrick Rose versus Westbrook. I'm more of a Westbrook fan because he's a superstar outside of basketball. You root for him. I love watching this dude.
Yeah.
He is, speaking about authenticity from beginning to end, he's just purely authentic. He doesn't seem like he's fake tough. Doesn't seem like he's fake angry, fake intense. No.
Right.
That's why I would love to see him win. I didn't care for K. That's why I didn't care when KG won, because it was like anything is possible. It sounded fake. It sounded like it was like he wrote that line.
Nah,
I think so.
I never got that.
I got KG. He's fake tough. He tried it with Melo. When we tried it with Melo, Melo checked him, and he never checked Melo again. There was no tough talk to Melo ever again. And he bullies the white players. There's a whole history with KG. He's a nasty dude. He's a legend.
Yes.
He's a legend, but he's a nasty dude. But Westbrook is purely authentic. To see if he gets a chance to win, if someone like LeBron, who I don't know if you ever heard like Iman Shumpert talk about him, and they asked him about like the difference between LeBron and Melo. He's like, Melo will take the brunt of the blame from the media, and he like Iman Shumpert was saying, "Yo, I was wide open on this shot. Why don't you pass me the ball?" Melo was like, "Yo, bro, I understand. I saw you. I know exactly where you at, but I practice this shot every day. When I go to the media, I don't go out there and say, yo, Iman was open when he missed that shot. No, it was on me. But he said with LeBron, he's like, yo, you need, like, if you didn't pass me the ball, he wants to know why. He's like, I passed it to whoever in that corner because he shoots 45% from there in the second quarter or what. He's a computer out there.
Mm-hmm.
I would think, and especially with his the way how comfortable LeBron has gone, because I don't think he's purely authentic too either. LeBron, he's a lot orchestrated with his stuff.
Is that I think a lot of that has to do with just the way shit is, with the pressure built on him. He has to have some type of facade, no? Because the IQ is going to be there.
I just think it's like Shaq, the big nice guy. They don't really want to, like, that's why Kobe was always mad at Shaq. Yo, if I was you, no one would talk about Jordan ever. If LeBron had Kobe's mentality, there would be no talk about who's better between him and Jordan. Zero, because he'd be so aggressive. He'd make it a point to be skilled. But LeBron is who he is, and he's that great of a passer. I think his influence on Westbrook should be, all right, you can't shoot any more threes. You shoot 25% from over here. When you go to the elbow or whatever it is, I will pride myself on being a super casual. I don't care what anybody says, whatever, make fun of me. But I think that's LeBron's impact on the team. I don't think he lost on when they won with Cleveland. They came back down 3-1. I don't think he's ever really been on a team that fully complimented him. I never liked the Miami Heat team. They won because he was so great, and again he figured out Spoelstra and them. Yo, stop shooting threes. You're shooting 4 a game. You shoot whatever it is right now. You shoot this much, and he had his 2 best seasons I think in his career on Miami, shooting like 55% from the field and like I want to say 38% from 3, but he only shot like 2 3-pointers a game. So he was much more selective and smarter about where he took his shots from. And defensively he was amazing. So
they had a great defensive team,
right? Because they would play this zone passing blitz.
Yeah,
he considered himself like a safety out there, and it was great to watch. But with Westbrook, this dude shout out to Hector, the tech extremist. He sent me some videos with Westbrook playing defense on Washington. I'm like, that looks good in the highlights. And if he does some of that on the Lakers, it would be amazing because you need Davis healthy, you need LeBron healthy. But again, a lot of the pressure is going to weigh on 3 guys as opposed to 6 to 8 guys that Milwaukee has. Like, what do you feel about this proposal trade? Maybe I'm crazy.
What's that?
Kyrie Irving straight up for Ben Simmons.
Fuck you. No. No. Emphatically, no. Hell no. Bro, who said that? I've not heard this at all. This is news to me. This is real-time reaction. What? The fuck out of it. They would never do that. Never. No.
I think
my man Joe ain't doing that. No. It's not happening.
Nobody said it. I said it because I'm a lunatic. I think they have enough offense. And defensively, as much as Durant, he's not going to be known as a stopper or whatever. You need, I think, that defensive dude along. And they're trying to get this guy known as Noel from the Knicks also. What is Kyrie really gonna do for you in the playoffs? So look, we just said if James Harden, if James Harden didn't get hurt, we agree they go to the championship and might win.
But yo, listen, they were doing pretty good without him. This is the thing. Kyrie was complimenting KD. They were killing Milwaukee, bro. Killing them. I'm telling you, the whole series changed when he rolled that ankle on GIANNIS. It was a dirty play on the low. It changed the whole series, bro. We're not talking about the Bucks at all. We're talking about the Bucks losing in the second round if Kyrie does never get hurt. Him and KD were killing. Drew Holiday, any of those, they could not stop Kyrie. They couldn't. They couldn't, bro.
What? Harden was going into the series hurt. He was already hurt by the time
he got hurt game one. He got hurt game one. He only played 30 seconds. Yo, Kyrie and KD were killing. It was beautiful to see. And then the other pieces around him complimented them. And Joe Harris was still shooting decent before he just disappeared. And I don't know who the fuck was out there, bro. That was not Joe Harris, bro. Or he wasn't ready for the moment.
But the Bucks also were down 2-0 against Phoenix. They were down 2-0 against everybody, and they came back.
Yeah.
So they made adjustments. All I'm saying is that I don't know if you really need Kyrie, especially if you can trick the 76ers into getting Ben Simmons and a draft pick and maybe another role play in a 3-team trade. No? Okay. All right.
As a Nets fan, fuck you. Hell no, bro. I'll be so pissed if they do that move, bro. Every Nets fan will be like, what? What? Nah, bro. You're not giving up Kyrie. I'm sorry. That 3-headed monster, it wasn't healthy. No one's beating them. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Because they have decent role players around them. Claxton, Bruce Brown, all these dudes. They have Joe Harris when he hits the 3-pointer shot. They have a great team. When they're fully healthy, I don't see anybody beating them, bro. Because when they start playing, when they do play decent defense, they're hard to stop. Because that offensive machine is, when they rolling, it's a wrap. And we've seen that. Man. That's bro. Ben Simmons, nah, man. Hell no, bro. I don't want that dude in Brooklyn.
Okay, I'm done with the Ben Simmons thing. But the Bucks did play them well during the season. They played good defense and they would score a lot. But with the Knicks, I wouldn't want Ben Simmons on the Knicks because we already have that. We already have enough offense. I saw some highlights from McBride. I don't judge these draft picks and stuff. I can't do it until I see summer league games give me a gauge. I don't watch college ball.
Me either.
I gotta watch summer league games.
How about this? I watched maybe a minute of the draft. I didn't know anybody that got drafted this year. I did not know not one name. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Who went number one? What's his name? Cunningham? I don't know. I forgot. I don't watch college basketball like that. I've never have. Only time I watch is during March Madness, and I'm doing the brackets. And you get to see a few players and a few names that stand out. Fine, but yo, I'm lost in the sauce on who got drafted, who came out, who went where. I had to look up who the Nets and Knicks drafted like today, and I'm like, okay, we'll see what happens. You know, I was like, maybe Ray knows more than me, especially about the Knicks. I'm out the loop.
No, I saw they drafted McBride. Z-Mac was he was okay with it because these guys could both shoot. But again, I don't judge none of this. Just like Porzingis, when everybody was down on him when they drafted him, like he doesn't look that bad. He's 7'4" and he's moving like that. That's pretty good. And then in the summer leagues, I saw now he's passing the eye test. I'm like, yo, this guy is legit. It's just a matter of staying healthy, and he's weak. Porzingis is really weak. It's not that he's soft; it's just that he's weak.
You need to hit the weights, man.
Yeah, I don't judge this until some. And I am happy with the Knicks just not being so desperate about stuff. They're in great position for the next 10, 20 years if they want. That's how you build the team. I don't know how Scott Perry got re-signed. I don't know why he got re-signed, but we said.
Let's talk about it.
I mean, nothing to talk about. I just don't know whether Scott Perry knows where the bodies are buried. That's what we.
Yeah, that's what you put. Yeah, put that.
Nah, because
I was like, when you said that, I was like, yeah, that's the one.
There's nothing to touch on because it's just I don't think he's responsible for any of that. Leon Rose.
No, I think that was Mills.
No. Stephen Mills.
Yeah, Mills, and he get fired. That wasn't on him.
Fired. He's been there. Leon Steve Mills and Leon Rose, and I forgot the other guy. I'm doing bad right now. It's Leon Rose and these two other guys because that's how they got Emmanuel Quickly, who I do like. I like Emmanuel Quickly. Okay. And I like what Z-Mac tweeted. He said, "Yo, with the McBride pick, I wouldn't mind taking Lowry for 2 years, and that's not bad because he can really train these guys. He already has a ring, and there's nothing like being a legend in New York, especially if you can take him to another level. There's nothing like I don't say he's a knockdown shooter, but he can help these kids. And I don't know if RJ Barrett is not a point guard. And if he's your two, they still have some work to do.
Yeah, he's definitely not a point guard. Yeah, who said that? They can never put him at the point.
No, I'm thinking out loud.
Okay, yeah, I can see him a small forward guard. RJ Barrett, he has some upside, man. He's not the problem. The Knicks, though.
Him and Randall to me are very similar with that slow kind of. They're athletic, but they're super slow motion, and they got exposed. Yeah, but I thought that in mid-season, like this offense is just horrible to watch and it's predictable. How can they can't get past the first round? And that's what they lost to Atlanta. And then when as the season progressed, they did make a lot of stride. That defense held up, but then Atlanta had enough balance. Another balance team. Nate McMillan should get more props.
Yeah, yep.
Shout out to Vern from ATL because he said it from the jump when they fired Lloyd.
And we spoke about that. We were we were like, yo, why the fuck they did that? We had a whole big thing about that shit, but apparently
I remember you were a little upset by it. Like, I don't know. That's kind of like because he's a black dude.
Yeah, but there was another black dude, Nate McMillan. Right.
And we also said like, yo, you got Dominique Wilkins and Grant Hill in the front office. I don't think they would make a decision like that for no reason.
Right.
And apparently he had a kid and he was skipping out on games or whatever for which we've heard of before, but I think they just weren't happy with the fact that there was a losing culture. He was beefing with their star player. But anyway, they turned it around and they're a balanced team. 1 through 12, these guys are balanced. And again, I'm not saying they can give the Nets a run for their money, but I mean, they are a piece or two away from being a major team.
Making a lot of noise. Yeah, hell yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, and that's what I mean. Again, going back to the Nets with that three-headed monster. Okay, three-headed monster, but if you don't win by next year, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like the Knicks are built for the next 5-10 years. Atlanta's built for the next 5-10 years. The Bucks are built for the next 5-10 years. The Lakers are not. The Clippers are not. You know, there's a lot of weight on the now. I guess we'll see.
I'll take those chances with my Nets.
It is fun, though. It is fun to be that close to the championship. They're a fun team when they're going. I just hate the crybaby brothers. I hate Durant when he speaks. I hate his sensitivity. I don't even like Draymond Green's supposed to be tough. I hate when he's being sensitive. I like that he's outspoken, especially about with the women stuff. He's just trying to be. He sounds like a macho, stereotypical macho, arrogant dude. But at least, what's her name, Rapinoe, the soccer player. If they're gonna, at least they're able to create a conversation. And if he's just this macho machismo dude, and you're able to educate him in public, that's what we should be doing. Don't just knock him down because you felt like he knocked you down. No, let him know. And now we're seeing like the girl. What's the girl that was that Kobe was tutoring, training? She's in the State Farm commercials now with Chris Paul.
What was her name? Brittany. Damn, I forgot her name. I know you're talking about.
But she's a star.
Yes. Yep.
And she's good. So I think that was her point. Like, yo, they don't promote us enough. And she meant that, like, outside of basketball. It's at the end of the day, the WNBA could be a game that you play before the NBA. Why aren't they doing that? I'm like, oh shit, that's true. Because it is the face. It is Michael Jordan. And we always talk about David Stern and Michael Jordan. Bro, that was a free NBA commercial every single night because Michael Jordan was on Nike, on Gatorade, on McDonald's. He was all over the place. He knew, oh, this is a commercial for my league. Oh, shit. Same thing for WNBA. These girls, women, need to be advertised all the time. And their sexiness. Whoever's the sexy chicks, yo, put that out there. Whoever's the yeah, even the gay pride ones, whoever's like stereotypically lesbian or whatever, yo, put that out there. You
Brittany
supposed,
Griner.
like, Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
Whoever's like, that's how you know who the star is, and they got to take that chance. But
it's Brianna Stewart who's in a commercial with Chris Paul. She's nice, yo.
Yeah. I forgot how I went to that. I think I was talking about Draymond Green. It was fake toughness.
Yeah,
I hate the fake toughness from even people are shitting on James Harden now because of him being in. They say he likes being in Paris and being with rappers instead of at practice.
Yeah, I've seen that. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, because again, which one is it? That's the hypocrisy behind. All right, we talked about Simone Biles. She said, "Yo, I ain't doing this." James Harden is taking his break. What would you do if you were a millionaire, 30-year-old NBA player? What are you talking about? I'm doing what makes me peaceful. If he wants to go in a skirt and dance and break dance with the woman beater himself, what's this guy's name? Little Uzi Vert? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Shout out to Uzi. I don't want no problem with you devil worshiping bastard.
I guess that we can segue. I guess we can segue into the hip hop.
Oh, you didn't want to talk about Chris Paul real quick?
Oh, I know you do.
No, I mean, not really. He didn't do anything sneaky. This was an ill deal by him. He did really well.
SBN award winner, Chris Paul.
2021 SBN award champion, Chris Paul. Sneaky P3. If he went to Philly or the Bucks like I initially thought he would have, I don't know if he gets an extension or he's in this situation. Even though Twitter and social media is down on him,
what if he goes to LA? Even
Lakers?
with Westbrook? Yes.
He's not going there.
Hey, stranger things have happened, but if it did happen,
but nah, because then
you will have Russ at the shooting guard, what he should be doing. LeBron and him,
no. LeBron will have to again. It's that looks like the 2004 Lakers with old ass Karl Malone and Gary Payton. I like Chris Paul. Chris Paul needs to play 20-25 minutes a game. He needs to be the Steve Kerr role. And as much as he might hate it, maybe go back to Phoenix like that if he wants to win. But this is a 1-year contract left that he can extend on, $44 million. The only way he turns it down, because he's connected in so many places, being the player associate president, whatever it is, the union president. Yep. He has. I just heard 3 years, $90 million somewhere. Somebody might sign him. I don't know if it's Phoenix.
I think
he doesn't get that.
I think he stays.
Well, he's gonna have to speak to them and try to get that 3rd year for $90 million, because now you're getting.
I don't see 3 years. I see maybe 2, maybe.
But 2 years in what? You're gonna extend past because they wanna shrink this year. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? If you're gonna sign him, we don't want to sign you at 44 million, Chris.
'Cause you know
That's too
what?
much.
I mean, listen, even all right, if he stays, they're another piece away from like really like like even with an injury plague playoffs, they're making another run. Like they need one, it's one piece they're missing. I just feel like they need, I don't know where, but they're a piece away, man. From
Mm,
really, because I mean, you got Devin Booker, he's a star in the making. He is a star. Um, what's my man name? Alton? What's the name? Was the
DeAndre Ayton,
DeAndre Ayton?
who I
Chris
don't think is
Paul?
better than Bam. I don't know why people just put anointed Ayton. That was crazy to me. Bam on Adebayo on
I mean,
Miami is
Miami.
amazing.
Yeah, not definitely. Yeah, I don't see. I'm not gonna say that. I would never say he's better than him. Um, but I mean, damn, this kid is young, man. It was his second season or some shit like that.
Yeah, same draft as Luca because they were saying, is it Luca? Yeah, because they
Might
were
be. Yeah.
saying Trey Young and Luke and the Ayton have gone further in the playoffs than Luca has. And
Yes.
if the same draft and saying, "Oh, you made a mistake," I still think Luca, Dallas is another team. I don't know what Mark Cuban is up to. Jason Kidd has not proven anything as a head coach. I'm a little, skeptical about that. The reason, like Rick Carlisle had a history of beefing with all his point guards. Rondo, I think Jason Kidd initially,
Hmm.
um, and it came to a point. It's obvious to me, especially with Donnie Nelson Jr. retiring or resigning.
Yeah.
Your administration left. That means there was a rift, and Luca's
Gone.
throwing his weight around. And Mark Cuban, that's the whole Kobe Shaq effect. Jerry West had to sit Shaq down. Big fella, you 30 years old, 32 years old, young pup. We got 10 more years of him. We got like 3 more with you. You do the math. So Luca telling Rick Carlisle, but Mark Cuban had to tell Rick Carlisle, yeah, I get it, but we got 10, 15 more years with this guy.
You think he got that cachet to talk like that, or you just hypothetically like, just speaking
Oh,
like Luca?
hell yeah.
Okay.
Porzingis tried that shit in New York, and they said, check this out. You out of here. You and your brother. You could go. I didn't agree with the trade. I thought it was a silly trade. I think someone like not Scott Perry, obviously, Leon Rose and his crew would do a better job of that trade. But going back to what were we saying?
Yeah,
DeAndre Ayton.
he tried that, but he ain't Luca. He ain't Luca good. He was
That's what I'm
never Luca
saying.
good in New
I
York.
just not that he was Luca good, but if somehow he found, maybe that's just is who he is. Porzingis was amazing. I just think his body is not meant for this shit. It's one of
He need,
these
he need to
damn
hit that
like
weight
Ralph
room,
Williams.
man. He need
I
to
don't
bulk up.
know. I don't know. He's trying to be a spot up shooter or whatever he is. Like he's 7 feet tall doing that. You a two guard. I would imagine Luca's frustrated. He can't get the money he wants now, and he's not a franchise player if that's the case. Because now it's been 2, 3. I get the injury, but
I don't see Porzingis having a future in Dallas. I just don't.
they're saying they're beefing him and Luca, which was the whole KKK movement that Mark Cuban is on.
I'm gonna take a shot. I'm gonna take a. I'm gonna take a.
Remember, there's a cultural Cuban called out the AAU teams. He doesn't like the American culture, the young American culture. Which he has some points with it. Again, going back to the Dominican
And I
celebrating.
agree with some of those points. Yes, I do. I agree
Everybody's
with
super
that.
friendly. The only thing I don't, yes and no, because the real difference is Luca and these guys play in the professional league around the world in
Yeah,
Europe.
they playing older cats. They play in the professional leagues, and they know the fundamentals. They learn the fundamentals. The AAU leagues, it's that flash. A lot of I mean, you can score and all that crossover and all that shit. Yeah, that shit don't translate long term. Like it's just cool, looks nice. Yeah, I get it, but learn the fundamentals, man. Learn the basic basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what those European players have the advantage over the American players, man. Coming up now. That's why I've been against that AAU shit, man. I
I,
get it.
I think I think it's that and the responsibility of being an actual professional. Like, you're really technically a professional.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
all them stuff. That's why I know people are against the whole. I don't know why people. I've had dudes. Shout out to my man Overby. He was saying he played college ball. He was saying they got a scholarship. Like that's enough. I'm like, no, it's not.
No.
That's bullshit because you're earning way too much money. It's not like this is way too much money that they're earning. These coaches are making too much money. The sponsorship money from Nike and everywhere else. That's just way too much money for these kids to be playing for free. Like, where else does that really happen? I can't think of it. Somebody could fucking slap me with something.
No, you're absolutely right. You're fucking right, bro. Luke and those dudes, they getting paid overseas when they play in those European leagues. Like,
not just, but the payment thing is obvious. I'm saying you're there traveling with a team. You're not worrying about college. You're not worrying about these stupid stipulations, and
you're learning how to be a professional. So you're getting a little experience, a little bite of what the NBA entails. You're right.
Yeah, man. It's not just dealing with 18 and 22-year-olds. These are grown men teaching you about life now. And it's a skill set you have. That's a skill. Any other skill set that you're born with. If you know how to fix cars or be a mechanic, you could be a mechanic at 13. If you're nice like that. So what's the difference? That you need working papers? Okay. Yeah, they get working papers at 14, as a matter of fact. What are we talking about right now? This is all like, come on. But we're talking about what? Luka, he has a pull in Dallas. Chris Paul. You saying you think he stays in Phoenix, or?
I think he stays. And if he does stay, it's probably 1 year or 2 year contract that they extend him. I don't see. I don't see. Yeah, I don't see 3 years.
Well, remember, the reason why they would do it is because he has a player option for 1 year. So if he signed, if they tell him, "Nah, we're giving you 2 years, $60 million," he'd be like, "No." Even though he could take that also because it's more than 44, but that's on him. I don't know. But we might want to take 1 year, 44, do well, and then the next year you get another 30-year deal, $30 million deal.
Would you see Chris Paul on the Knicks?
No, I don't want him on the Knicks.
Why not?
Oh, that was too quick. That was my Twitter bias right now, because how he helped DeAndre Ayton. I think as much as people are shitting on Chris Paul, and I get it that the media, the mainstream media, ESPN, they were all like on Chris Paul's dick, and they were saying like, "Yo, but the Chris Paul effect." Even when Booker was outshining him, and they were just talking about Chris Paul, it was weird. But DeAndre Ayton swears by this dude. The confidence that he instilled in him. Well, you got the best hands in the game. You can do this, you can do that. You can't really replace that. Again, going back to mentality. Now, I don't know if anyone.
No, go ahead. Finish. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say I don't know if anyone on the Knicks can really check him. Maybe Thibodeau can check him.
Maybe, but that's where his value comes in for Phoenix. So they might throw that 3 year, but yeah, I don't think they want to lose that. So because how great he worked with Ayton and just that whole team. Period. He changed the whole mentality. Really, I mean that is the Chris Paul effect. You might have to throw him that 3 years. I don't know.
As much as we shit on him on Twitter, that's easy to do. I just think on offense somehow he didn't play his role. But this is a Western Conference championship with Houston. If they really were an injury away when he got hurt from beating Golden State. As much as you want to knock him, whatever you want to say, he was right there with Houston for that Golden State team.
Yes.
And speaking of injuries too, I could use that as an example. Chris Paul got hurt against Golden State. They were very close to beating Golden State, right? Kawhi Leonard, when Zaza Pachulia put his foot out and injured Kawhi Leonard, they were smacking Golden State around that season with Durant. As great as they were, right? So that was my a reference to my earlier point.
Good point.
Thank you, sir. Who do we sign? What are these headlines? What do you
we can skip a lot of it.
Not tonight. What's tonight? It's 4 days from now.
What?
Dipset.
August 3rd, baby. Hip Hop versus LOX versus Dipset. Battle for New York. Who we got? Who you got?
It's old school New York, by the way. I think a lot of kids are like,
I mean, come on. Yeah, come on, we know. Our era. The Battle for New York. For fun.
They're going to laugh at us on
old heads. Motherfucking old heads go be in the garden.
I'm biased. I'm going with the LOX. LOX was
Yeah, me too.
How say I was raised off the LOX. I think Dipset was Russell Westbrookish. A lot of highlights,
Yeah.
but comes down to it, them album cuts. People love saying Purple Haze album is a classic. This Dipset album is a classic. Like,
No, it ain't. No, it's not.
I don't know if the LOX have any classic albums. Looking back on it,
No, they have good albums. As
I
a
like
whole or solo.
just remember that it's everybody's catalog.
Okay.
Jim Jones has the best albums out of Dipset right now. His last two are
Oh yeah, that last not the one that just came out though. Was the one that came out 2 summers ago. Fire! I love that album. I was never a Jim Jones fan growing up, especially when he was beefing with Hove and all that shit. Man, that album that came out 2 years ago, incredible. But I love that album. I was playing it consistently, a heavy rotation. I loved it, man.
Yeah. They have classic hits. They got bigger hits than the LOX. LOX got Benjamins. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Dipset has bigger hits than the LOX?
Yeah. Boy.
Okay, that's Cam, right? Yeah.
Ballin'.
Okay, yeah.
When I just said Dipset, Joel Dipset.
That's Santana's Town. That wasn't big. That wasn't that big.
It was other
Dipset Anthem. Yes. Dipset Anthem is when that beat drops, that the whole New York stands up. You fucking pledge allegiance to Dipset Anthem. 03, that was what, summer 03 or 02. When that shit dropped, all of New York was going crazy, man. Brooklyn, block parties, that Dipset Anthem drop, man, we were going crazy, man. I remember that was a time. But all about the Benjamins.
That's the only thing you got for it.
We gonna make it?
I love We Gonna Make It. It's an obvious classic. I personally do not like We Gonna Make It as much as Dipset Anthem. I hear that dun, 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 dun. That beat is too. Anybody could have rhymed on that. Because Jewels is not ripping that more than Styles and Jada. He's not. But that beat is too insane.
The beat is infectious like a motherfucker. You can't hate it. And I hated Dipset at that time. I was like, yo, but this shit is fucking ill.
How'd you hate Dipset at that time?
I don't know. It was something about I felt like it was something about them. I wasn't sold on them 100%. I love Cam though. Always love Cam. Cam is in my top 10. He's in my top 10 still. Yeah. Love Cam. But We Gonna Make It, to me, as much as Dipset Anthem, the beat is crazy. We Gonna Make It, the song in general, like you play that is timeless. I think it's one of the best hip hop songs ever. Like just the hook and just the energy on that is just different, man. Jada and Styles going back and forth on that, like it's. Man, I don't know. That's a tough one, bro.
I understand if they have a lot of those, but they don't have. To me, I don't think We Gonna Make It is Ballin' or Dipset Anthem or like it's just they knew how to make the hit Dipset hits. They knew how to commercialize that music. They just hit on that. The LOX have a lot of those album cut. Dipset's not did just that's why you saw when. I still can't understand anyone who thinks Fab has a better catalog than Jadakiss. Like off the catalog alone, this is not going to be fair, and people didn't understand it. Fab, off the surface, it might look like Fab got the hits or whatever.
Clearly the verses exposed that, and I was with Jada the whole way. And Fab's a Brooklyn dude, but come on, man, nah. Jadakiss and Lupe won that verse.
So I don't know if it'll be like that because I'm probably forgetting a lot of Dipset stuff, but even Jim Jones.
I got the list. I
don't think Jim Jones will play Max B stuff, but go ahead.
Nah, I mean, look, you got Dipset Anthem, you got Santana's Town, and like Cam's catalog. Welcome to New York City. Shit with Hove, motherfucking Oh Boy, of course. Hey Ma. You know what I'm saying? Ballin'. Like, I'm ready. Even let's not even forget the joint on Beamer, Benz, and Bentley with Lloyd Banks, Santana. I mean, Santana's the featured artist, but you gotta that gets counted.
But they got 20 other joints that they'll rather put that I really mean it.
I really mean it's on it. Yeah, I said that. Yep.
Oh, you did? Okay, sorry.
Oh no, I didn't. You're right. I said I'm ready. Yeah, I really mean it is. But man, bro, the LOX. All about the Benjamins, money, power, respect, 24 hours to live. Like, yo, we gonna make it. Banned from TV. Like the features they have are incredible.
Yeah.
Blackout, like just man, ride or die. Like, oh my god, yo.
Yeah. They got 20. I think they have 20 joints that this is a New York thing. They got I think the LOX have 20 hammered out joints, and Dipset doesn't have that. They're gonna have to wane. No, the LOX have the sound. The LOX were pre-Dipset. They were the sound of the street. People don't really understand. If you're young, you won't understand that. The LOX were, I don't even know who
we are the street. That was the name of the album. They were the street, like the hardest niggas from New York. They come from Yonkers. 50 said that. What did Beanie say? like I listen to the LOX and I listen and watch. Like, yo, niggas. What's Pusha T say on what did he say? We listen to niggas that came out of Yonkers on the games the games we play. Like, oh, right. You gotta give the LOX their respect, man. Like from 96, 95. I mean, you know, just coming up. They've been putting it down, man.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
My bad.
No, I'm listening and trying to damn, I forgot what the fuck I was gonna say.
Yeah, they got LOX got joints, bro.
Yeah, then they got 20 just same thing with
I Get High, all them songs like that. The joint with Akon, Locked Up, and The Life with Pharoah Monch. Like, it's songs like this, cuts like that. Like, it's just deep cuts. They got those deep cuts, and every song ain't gonna be a banger like a classic, a radio record. But they got those songs, and we've seen this in the verses. People think, oh, they don't got the hits. It's not about having those radio hits. It's about having those deep album cuts that like resonate with people. Like, yo, this shit hit me. Like it moved in New York when it came out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the Dipset has that many as the LOX do.
And it's sequencing though, because it's all about, you know, getting the momentum and stuff. I do love that Styles and Jim Jones are doing a hell of a promotional run.
Love it.
Cam is not involved, and I think it's because Cam is so petty. It's like this is the reason why 50 Cent cannot do a versus, because the promotion to it is going to be so vile. He's beyond petty and personal. You're going to want to really fight him when you see him. You want to get violent with him. He can't do this. But Styles and Jim Jones are keeping it classy enough, friendly enough where, you know, it's funny.
It's funny as hell. I love it. I love it. They're perfect too to do it too.
Yeah, because you could tell they're friends though. You could tell they're friends.
Yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. They just did a few songs together, which is crazy. Yeah, they've been working with Jim. Yo, like just the LOX guest features alone, man. New York with Ja Rule and Fat Joe. Like just Blackout, Reservoir Dogs, All for the Love with Jada first album. Come on, man. Kiss Your Ass Goodbye. Like just, man.
Yeah, so that's really it's a New York thing.
It's a New York thing, bro. This is old New York, 90s, 2000. If you ain't a part of that, you weren't outside for it, then stay in the house. All right? Just stay in the house. Ride or die, bitch. All types of shit, man. Last Day. Niggas done started something.
That might
Rough Riders Anthem.
That might be
the remix. Oh my God.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah. Yep. Banned from TV. Just money, power, respect. Like, yo, knock yourself out. she was a model for a year and a half. Like, I love that shit, bro.
But do you agree that I think even against Benjamins, I think that's the
Don't you dare. Don't you.
Benjamin versus that's the, and you see that's the thing behind a lyricist, a vocalist being that quality. Dipset Anthem, Joel's he did all right. He did okay. It was cool, but it's not the quality behind. You're gonna recite all these lyrics to Benjamin's while the song is going for 4 or 5 minutes. Somebody might come out and do Big's part.
Bro, I was at a wedding my brother's wedding. They played the whole Benjamin song. Everyone was singing it. They made the ladies just do Kim's verse. The whole place was shaking, bro. I'm just saying, like, yo, it's songs like that. I'm like, I get it. Old Boy is great. Ballin' is great. But, man, All About the Benjamins is that's personally one of that's got to be in the top 10, top 15 hip-hop songs all time for me. That song is crazy, bro. It's a classic.
Yeah, Dipset don't even have one for that. There's no equalizer for All About the Benjamins.
No, not at all. They can play Dipset Anthem all they want. They can play Old Boy. Nah, All About the Benjamins. Come on, bro. It was big on there.
Sorry, Harlem. I tried. I'm trying to think of a
Jada wrote Puff verse. Come on, man. Like, nah.
Yeah, it's not happening.
LOX.
Something real unsurprisingly boring.
Here we go.
Unsurprisingly boring.
I
tried to get into this. I was gonna mention it earlier because of did it have to be authentic? Oh, with the whole, let's say, with 50 Cent, he's so with Jim Jones and Styles. It's so friendly, competitive that it's not gonna go over the edge. And for a little while there, the way Lupe and Royce talk, because I don't want to call him, I don't want to disrespect. I think Royce might be a little bit like a little crazy. And the way that they talk, Joe Budden talks, these guys, the way, yo, I'll air you out, I'm the best, and they're always on the edge with that. That I was always surprised that Lupe and Royce would. I know that they're friendly, but I'm still like, at what point is the friendly fire gonna go off? Like, I even thought that when they did the podcast, and I'm not even I'm not a Lupe fan. I'm not a Royce fan either. But I actually like Royce the 5'9". I disagree with a lot of stuff he says, but again, I think he's authentic. I think he means what he says and he says what he means. And I don't think Lupe is that. And I'm glad Royce got in his ass, like, verbally, like, his side talk. He's like, bro, that fake pseudo tough shit you doing. All right, cool.
No.
What are you thinking is happening? What's the play-by-play between these two guys?
No. Listen, because I'm a Lupe fan. I've been watching their IG lives. If you know Lupe and you've been following his career like I have, this, you know what this is? This is like, all right, the LOX N Dipset, that's a New York thing, 90s, 2000s. If you weren't involved with it, it's gonna be hard for you to really, like, all right, give a fuck. Like, this is boring. But yo, Lupe for years, he views hip hop and rapping as a sport, or just like this is like the Olympics for him. Like, he's been begging people for years to rap. Let's spit. Let's go verse for verse. Even on Twitter, in Twitter's infancy, Lupe's been on social media. He'll rap against like Mickey Fax, who's a part of this, and he'll tweet back and forth, just freestyling the rhymes. Like, he does this shit because he loves the competition, and it's not necessarily like, yo, like, I hate you. Like, even on them IG lives, they would talk crazy. When Ransom was on there, Lupe was talking crazy. Like, nigga, I'm a totally different demon. You can't fuck with me. At the end of that IG, where a lot of people don't, you know, they only see the sound bites. He's like, yo, out of all, you know, all jokes aside, all the love, Ransom, I love your career. I love what you do. And it was the same thing with him and Royce. Even with their podcast, they always talk shit like this. It just got to the point where Lupe is just like egging them on, kept, yo, rap, nigga. You talking all this shit, rap. And it got out of hand. And Royce got sensitive about it. And it finally went to the bars. They finally made a song. And Royce tried to do something like Miro with his diss, which he didn't. He failed. The diss was dope, but it wasn't what he doesn't. He lacks the capability rhyme wise to me than what Lupe is able to do. Lupe is a different, and even if you don't like him, what he does with rapping, like he treats this shit like a fucking sport. Like he knows the fundamentals. He practices doing people's verses or doing rapping as other people's styles, doing shit like that. Rapping fast, slow, speeding up. He toys with all that shit. He's been doing it for years. And so now, he even talks about some shit, a real rap battle competition. I know you smile. You like, yo, what is this bullshit be talking about? But I'm trying to lay it out there.
I'm listening to every single word. I'm just laughing at,
He like I said, he's very competitive. So there's an actual rap competition called Lupe's been egging Royce, Mickey Fax, Ransom, whoever, any MC that claims they're the best to do it. There's a guy named Osiris who's the champion of this this rap league. And it's not like you battling against another rapper. They're giving you obstacles as a rapper to do. Like, oh, we give you an object, you got to rap about that, or certain syllables and stuff, shit like that. It's like a rap obstacle course. And this dude Osiris is like the champion of that. And Lupe has been pushing Royce, like, yo, nigga, you saying you the best, you nice, nigga. Go in that shit. Go in that competition or whatever. And I guess Royce got annoyed. Him and Mickey Fax were annoying Royce, and they finally put some shit on wax. And I think it got a little personal. And here we are. I actually like Lupe's joint because he freestyled it and he pointed out his insecurities. And he's like, yo, like, we do this. We've been doing a podcast. We've been doing these IG lives. Like, yo, it's always love, but you seem like you taking it far now. You calling me a bitch and shit like that. And I think Royce really started he got sensitive about the subject. And here we are. That's where we at right now with it. And I think Royce is down right now because everything Lupe's been freestyling every day since. He's been dropping a freestyle. And then Mickey Fax just dropped the joint the other day. And Royce hasn't, replied yet. But, I mean, that doesn't mean much. You can take time and still have an ill response. I'd rather him do that than just drop some bullshit. But I actually love this because I don't feel like it's going to go to, like, people getting hurt. It's going to get off wax, anything like that. I just think it's just sparring. It's competition. It's rap at its essence, the battle. And I think that's what Lupe has been trying to do with someone for so long, especially someone like Royce. And here we are.
That was always my issue with the way they spoke to each other, like, I'll bust your ass, I'll smoke you, to stand in third. And it's just it always goes back to what kayfabe is in wrestling, where you ever seen I always talk about this too, a storyline where, like, Mark Henry happened with Chris Benoit. He took somebody's girl and they're acting like they're together. And in the midst of all that, they actually do get together because in their brain, after a while, they can't separate real life from
off, right? Yeah.
You can't do it. That's what kayfabe is. That's actually the when they talk about ring psychology in wrestling, that is kayfabe to the core. This has been going on for hundreds of years. So in rap, I think rap took on, that was my beef again. And, I'm going to mention Jay-Z, first Jay-Z reference, I think. No, you did with Ace of Spades. When he called everybody out during E3, he's like, oh, shit is like wrestling. I'm like, yeah, nigga, it is wrestling. You know that. You know this is fake and like it's fake real, and it is kind of real. You know that. And the problem with that is I never liked that kind of talk. Again, going back to Queen's Flip, doing all this extra shit around me, I don't want that, because then after a while, I don't know what's real. Because you might slap the fuck out of me with a bottle and you go, no, I'm just joking, my bad. My bad. Oh no, I gotta go home.
Yeah.
So that kind of talk to me, even at work, sometimes people get out of hand. I'm like, these jokes have gone too far. I don't participate. Are you sensitive? I'm not sensitive. I just, at a certain point, I don't know when we're playing around. Then when I get serious or you get serious, I don't know. I thought you were joking. I don't know. So with Royce, I never liked that he would actually participate in that, especially with his demeanor. Like Joe Budden to me is a fake tough guy. And Royce does not come off as a fake tough guy to me. He comes off like he might slap you or he might get into fisticuffs with you. I just like the way he speaks. Like, he eloquently puts people in their place. I love it. When with Benzino, he took the fucking the rocket launcher out like 15 years ago. You ever seen that? When he was beefing with Benzino, took a rocket launcher out. That was hilarious. And I thought he was a better showman than Lupe. I heard Lupe shit. I was bored as usual, but
no.
I was. But he can rhyme. I liked it as far as like it's a freestyle and stuff like that. But when it comes to dissing or just making a song, I don't think he can do what Royce does. And I think Royce cannot go bar for bar with him. That's the mistake that I think artists may not recognize, because now he's trying to go into a place where he may not be number one at. Royce's angle is, bro, you can make, if you put both of them each in the studio by themselves, Lupe's not making a better song than Royce the 5'9". Not happening. Royce is going in there. It's not happening. Royce is making the beat. It's gonna be good. He's gonna make a song, and it's gonna be really good. Doesn't have to do. It could be about the light bulb. It could be about whatever. But he can evoke emotion in a song. He has that gift. For me, Lupe does not. I just don't care about him.
That's where you're wrong. That's where you're wrong.
He has enough fans. But I personally think that is where Royce's strength is at. His strength would not be to go bar for bar with Lupe. That's what that's because that's his mistake. Lupe could look. He could. Who knows if Royce the 5'9" could freestyle? I never heard him freestyle, but Lupe, I'm not surprised by this. This guy could freestyle about anything. That's his gift. Don't do that. Don't go in that ring with him. Go do your own thing. Make a song.
And
that's good songs.
And that's what Royce fucked up, because he tried to make a song like Mirror. So I'm saying, like that that response. It was long. It was like 7 minutes long. And he was spitting some shit. Like I enjoyed it, but I knew what he was trying to do, and he failed. He failed in that sense of trying to match that. But the song is actually dope. You know what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? Like, it's ill, but I know what you were trying to do. You didn't execute it properly. And right now he's down 0-2, because with Lupe spit, even if you don't like it, and with Mickey Fax spit to him, man,
no, he got the crowd. Everybody on Twitter saying the same thing. Lupe got him. Royce was talking shit, and then it's kind of third. I saw the IG live because I was wondering what was going on. I guess I watched the replay. It's again, Lupe sounds like a little chihuahua, and he keeps talking this shit. And Royce was like, "Yo, who the fuck do you think you're talking to?" And I could tell that it was because that was what I expected to happen a while ago. Just the way Royce's personality is, bro. You're not tough, and you talk way too. To me, when battle rappers do that, that is not. You learn the lingo, how to push a button, and that does not rock with a lot of people. So Royce, maybe he should look at this a little differently, in my opinion. You put yourself in a bad predicament because you know that you have boundaries. He knows that, especially being, I don't know, I don't want to get into his past, but I don't know, he's an alcoholic, beating all that stuff. That shit takes a toll on you, man. All that stuff mentally, you're on the edge. Royce the 5'9" seems like he's always on the edge.
And Lupe's freestyle touched on that. He touched on that. And
so he's rocking him. So if that's the case, he's rocking him, and Royce saying he got to go back to the corner, and that's how you come up with ether. You chill out, and you come up with these different angles. Because even look at what's his name, Large Professor. He was saying he don't even like ether like that. He likes Takeover more. And he's listening to Nas like, why don't you come out with this? Basically, Nas like, nah, this is gonna work. So for Nas to know that, he was showing his showmanship. Royce the 5'9" right now is not showing that showmanship. He's too emotional.
Yeah, that and even with the he had posted something on IG, like he was writing about something. I forgot what he said, and dudes was like, "Yo, nah, this ain't it, bro." Like fans and people like, nah. And then he's talking about, "Yo, I got friends too." Talking about you gonna get somebody else in there involved because he feel like he's being ganged up on. But I'm like, I don't know, man. We'll see. I would love to. I hope he responds. I hope he comes with some ill shit, because this is fun. This is fun. This is a part of hip hop that we love and enjoy. It's entertaining. I just wanted to stay on wax, and I think that's the whole point of, huh?
You think it's going somewhere else?
I'm not saying it's gonna go somewhere else, but I mean, damn, Royce is pissed, bro. Like calling motherfuckers bitches and talking about bodily harm and shit like that. I mean, come on, man.
I don't believe him.
It's not gonna go there though. I doubt it. I highly doubt that. But anyway, I hope it goes to the point where Royce comes back with some ill shit. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, here's my question for you. Maybe you could just answer this maybe 30 seconds or less. I think
yeah.
Who the fuck is
Mickey Facts? Mickey Facts, if you don't know, he is one of the best. He's a ghostwriter for a lot of people. He's been a ghostwriter for years in the industry. He's an ill MC himself. Like if you listen to his music, it's not popular like that, but Mickey is that dude. Like Mickey is nice. He's been nice. Him and Lupe been friends forever. Like I said, they used to freestyle battle rap on Twitter with their Twitter replies and posts. He's one of those dudes that lives for like the art of just battling, the art of rap. Like, he treats this shit like a sport, like Lupe. Like those dudes, that's what they do. That's what they do. Like that's their arena. And Royce is basically coming in their arena and trying to, they're like, nah, you ain't got no wins here. That's like Freddy versus Jason. When Freddy brought Jason into the nightmare world, when Jason brought that motherfucker into the real world, like it was just a totally different arena, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah, Mickey Facts is nice, bro. He's well respected amongst real MCs and people that consider themselves lyricists in the industry. So yeah, nah, Mickey's that dude. Yeah.
Again, I'm super casual. I'm a casual.
It's all good, man.
I think we talked about King's Disease 2 is coming out
August 6th.
We talked about Jim Jones' last album, which I would still, if I play it right now, I love it. I feel something.
Dope.
Just like what I say with Royce is capable. Royce the 5'9" is capable of making music that I feel. Like Cocaine song is. I still think about it. And Jim Jones did that for me with his last album. Nas, I don't know if Nas did that with King's Disease for me. And I don't really listen to it like that anymore. Not to say he's not capable of doing that. It was close. I liked it, but going back to, we know Jim Jones ain't as nice as Nas. Never has been. Never. I don't think he ever will be. But he was able to make an album that made me feel something. I don't listen to King's Disease like that anymore. What do you feel about? We're gonna listen to it because we love Nas.
Right.
But what do you feel about the August 6th, you said?
August 6th. Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy as Nas putting out another album. Like someone I love, one of my favorite MCs, even if he's not at his best or as his peak. Like, yeah, I don't listen to King's Disease as much as there's a few select joints I still play. Car 85, what's the joint? The first song. Damn, what's the name of that fucking shit, man? I feel bad. But there's a few cuts on there I still play. But I'm looking forward to it. I just want to see what he got. Like it's like if Jay said, yo, I'm dropping an album next week. Like, even if Jay's not, you still gonna listen. Like, yo, Jay's my favorite. Like Jay's Jay. Nas is Nas. You're gonna listen because it's who they are. You want to see what they have. Maybe they surprise us. Maybe Nas drops some crazy shit. Maybe King's Disease 2 is iller than the first one. I hope. You just expect the best, from any time any of these dudes drop. I know it's all produced by Hit Boy again. A lot of people was mad that Hit Boy is actually producing songs for Nas, and a lot of Nas fans or hip hop purists was totally against him working with Hit Boy. They didn't like King's Disease as much. But man, listen, at this point in his career, Nas could do any fucking song, any album he wants with anybody he chooses. He's earned that right. You can make experimental album. Nas can make some wild shit. Kanye's done it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's at that level. He's garnered that respect enough for that. I could work with whoever the fuck I want to work with. And a lot of these fans, they fickle and like, nah, I want you to do a whole album with Premier still. They still stuck in the 90s, and I get it. It's the nostalgia effect. Sometimes you gotta take yourself away from that and just appreciate that this dude is still making music this far in his career. He's still putting out albums, and even if you don't like it, you still gonna listen to it. You're still anticipating it. Like, yo, I know I ain't like the first King's Disease, but I'm gonna listen to King's Disease too. And you're gonna tune in, and we're all gonna critique it or whatever, because no one's above critique. But let's see what happens, man. I'm definitely looking forward to it, because I haven't really anticipated any music hip hop wise in a minute. I'm being honest, So here we go, August 6th, and then Kanye drops the same day. So
is hip hop dead? Like, it's really.
Oh. Come on, man. That was good.
I'll listen to it. I remember liking the King's Disease one. Cardi 5 is dope, but he doesn't have like 8 of those. He doesn't have 7 of those. If he did, it would, again, going back to Jim Jones, I would keep saying Jim Jones album, but I'm forgetting the name. It's just surprising to me that Jim Jones is the one that's able to create something that resonates, even though he's it's still kind of like you're in your 40s doing that, 50s doing that, referencing like a whole thing. But just the fact that he's able to make me feel anything, I think, is incredible as a person, as an artist. And like you said, Nas is able to do whatever he wants to do. His name, I don't think he can do anything to ruin his name. I mean, nowadays,
no.
Who did they cancel somebody today? Oh, they canceled the baby.
Oh,
canceled the baby. That's like, yeah, I don't understand what he's just playing with fire. He likes playing with fire a lot.
Yeah, bro. He like, all right, I get it, but nah, you don't go for the Alphabet Gang, first of all. And you teamed yourself with Tory Lanez after the whole Megan Thee Stallion shit. And on top of that, you said, who the fuck is Questlove?
After performing,
yeah, like, I don't even know who this dude is. Bro, you performed with him like 2 years ago. He was your drummer on stage in 4K.
That doesn't mean that he knows who he is.
I know, but come on, son. Come on.
This sounds like that sounds like drugs. It sounds like drugs.
Might be, I don't know.
Or bipolarity. It's going there, because now this is 2 characters. This guy's smiling. He's a very charismatic kid. I don't know how old he is.
Did you see his new video?
No. No.
That shit is wild, bro. Wild. Yeah. Go check it.
Wild in what way? Pornographic or
all that? Everything. He's pushing the ball. Like, he's at this point, I think he's trolling. I think he knows a little bit what the fuck he's doing, bro. Especially after that video. I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is gonna draw some attention, eyeballs. Yeah, go check it out.
Like Little Nas exit. Well, it can't be Little Nas. He's anti Little Nas exit.
He didn't go. He didn't go that far, but I know he got a white chick in the video topping him off as he's rhyming, and he got the sensor ball over her face, and he's just standing up. He's going to work. But there's other scenes in it. Nah, you gotta see it, bro. Trust me. You're gonna be like, oh shit. You're gonna laugh. You're gonna be like, yo, your eyeballs gonna be like, yo, he wildin'. He's wildin'.
Do we know what the song is called?
I can tell you right now. Hold
on. Giving it what's supposed to give. I think it's this. In the casket.
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know what he's saying, but yeah. I suspect drugs, bro. Or he's bipolar. Because he's successful. He's figured out a lot in life. Oh, I see. If the sense, that's crazy. Yeah, I think this is. To be honest, I'm not shocked by this. It's attention grabbing.
He's trolling. He know what he's doing, bro. I mean, I get it. We understand. But like you said earlier,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's a standard. There's like all right, this is a point where you like, all right, dog. like baseball. Like, all right, I feel like you're going way too far. Like
Well,
he's playing with fire right now, bro.
the Rolling Loud thing was that, but with this video,
Yeah.
and like you said, the Tekashi 6ix9ine thing again, I always say we're all hypocrites. It's a Hollywood world we live in, and it's all about the redeemer. If he comes out with the next club smash hit, we ain't talking about
All
that.
this goes out the window.
The only time maybe that didn't work was the "You Ain't Even Know It" song with Rick Ross and Wallow, I think it was. When he's talking about I put Molly in her drink and she ain't even know it, and they canceled the fuck out of him. But that song was
I don't even know about it.
Yeah, Reebok canceled the deal originally.
Oh yes, okay. Damn, see, I forgot all about that.
But that's the only time I remember somebody not being able to trump the cancellation with a hot song out. But it wasn't like he had, like if he has BMF out and he had a line like that in BMF, I don't think, because DMX trumps all of that, all those rules. What is the baby saying that DMX can say?
Listen, yeah, he says so. We spoke about this,
Come on,
that
man.
That was a different era. Now, cancel culture and social media, everything spreads like in a minute. Like, oh, do you see? Heard what he said? He said. DMX couldn't make those songs now.
I think he could, but I think
he could, but he's getting. He's going to catch.
You know why? Because I think it goes back to being authentic. I don't know if the baby sound like this shit is not authentic to me. He's clearly, like you're saying, the trolling is intentional. Like I'm intentionally playing. I'm walking the tight. How far can I go? He's looking at you as like a little kid. The baby. Maybe he's earning the name.
Yeah, Kanye, we're talking about it. So
yeah, Kanye. Do we care about this guy?
Of course we do. Of course we do. Red cap with no cap. We care. And guess what? August 6th, we gonna listen.
He washed off the little bit of fandom that I had. I think Mel and my brother tried to warn me like 8 years ago when the Yeezus shit dropped. I like Yeezus.
I ain't like Yeezus.
A lot of people don't. It's polarizing. I don't think it was the best album of the year. Looking back on it, I was caught up in the hype. I was still a Kanye. He had the ability to be a. Maybe I think I was a fan of his last compared to anybody. Maybe like 50 Cent, but he had the ability to pull. Like you watch his interviews and you go, I feel him though, and everybody else is going, he's a dick. That guy's a dick. What are you talking about?
Polarizing. He's polarizing.
He's polarizing, but it's to the point where he's still able to pull fans in hard body, and then he had the music behind it. Like it wasn't just trolling without the redemption value was check my catalog.
Yes, exactly.
This may be the best catalog in arguably in up there in musical history, definitely up there in rap history. So that's his redeemable value. All of that 2010 Kanye, 2020 Kanye for me is gone. You're gonna have to tell me that shit is hot before I listen to it ever again. That poopy scoop shit came out with last time, that dumbass album, you're bipolar, you got your wife, you making me feel empathy for Kim Kardashian. You've taken new lows in my life. I never cared for Kim Kardashian.
Yeah,
these are new rock bottoms for me. I ain't fucking with you, dog. Just because you're trash. You could be, look, you were a piece of shit, and I still like rock with your music, but you ain't even coming out with good music, and you ruined Nas's album. I was pissed at you off that. I'm not forgetting.
He ruined it? I don't think he ruined it.
Yes, he did.
I don't think that album was bad as people thought it out to be. They wanted more, and I listened to it this week. That's the crazy shit. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not.
B.
Yes.
If Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg come out with an album in 2020 and I go, it's not bad, you're going to go, okay, I'm not listening. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, Eric B. and Rakim, Kanye West and Nas, one of the greatest producers, one of the greatest lyricists are joining.
For 7 songs.
What? No, that was supposed to be whatever King's Disease won better than that. We were anticipating something crazy with that. And then he didn't just ruin that. He dropped the ball for Tiana Taylor.
He did. What, Pusha T album?
Yes, but that's not worth it. That's not worth it. For Tiana Taylor's talented. She has some joints. To ruin your own album like that, it's you, Nas, Tiana Taylor, and Push. Those were 3 good rappers, and he ruined that. He dropped the ball too many times with me. He has way more trust to build with me again.
I think we put too much into him ruining those albums. Like, I don't think it was. All right, if you want to say the Nas album got ruined, I don't place all of that on Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, Nas, people started feeling like when that dropped. I'm not saying I agree with this, but people felt like Nas wasn't rapping like how he was, and a lot of people felt that way. A lot of people feel like, what about King's disease?
You didn't hear what Nas said then.
What?
You didn't hear what Nas said then.
Well, I heard what he said about Kanye. I heard what he said
after when the album was in Queensbridge.
Yeah,
that's not good. He was trying to set up it was a publicity stunt to have 4 albums to be able to go into the Grammys, and it failed. You're not in your prime, Kanye, and you should have known better. You should have let other people, and they trusted him. That was the last straw. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I don't care if you had Whitney Houston's picture on Pusha T's album. That's great.
The last straw for me was
what last straw? You want to listen to his album?
I didn't like The Life of Pablo. I am, bro. You have listen. It's because it's Kanye.
Like Pablo.
I didn't like it. I did not like it.